What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today, May 28th, 2026, is the kind of day in Patriots Nation where everything you thought you knew about this offseason just got flipped completely upside down. Because in the last 6 hours alone, we have gotten a jaw-dropping new report from one of the most trusted insiders in the entire NFL that just threw a bucket of cold water on what everyone assumed was a done deal. And on top of that, there is a brand new blockbuster trade target being discussed around New England that changes the entire picture of what this roster could look like heading into the 2026 regular season. So if you thought today was going to be a quiet Wednesday before the June 1 window opens, think again. Let us get into absolutely everything right now. Let us start with the report that broke just hours ago and immediately set every Patriots group chat and every football corner of the internet on fire. Ian Rapoport of NFL Network, one of the single most reliable and connected insiders in the sport, went on NFL Network on Wednesday and delivered a statement that every Patriots fan needs to hear clearly and completely. Rapoport said, word for word, that the Patriots and Eagles are not particularly close on a potential A.J. Brown trade. He acknowledged that everyone is waiting for June 1 to happen so the cap hit splits for Philadelphia and the trade can finally move forward financially. But then he dropped the line that nobody was prepared for. He said he does not know that it is simply a snap your fingers and the deal is done situation because the two sides are where they have been for weeks, which is the Eagles firmly demanding a first-round pick in 2027, not 2028. Not a 2028 first with sweeteners flowing back. A 2027 first-round pick. And the Patriots, who understand the value of a top 10 selection in what is expected to be an elite quarterback draft class next year, have been significantly resistant to surrendering that pick at that price point. Now, to be fair to the bigger picture here, Rapoport did not say this trade is dead. He did not say the Patriots are walking away. He said he believes in the end it will involve a future first-round draft pick and that his guess is 2028 one pick in 2028, but he was careful to say, let us see what the two sides finally figure out in the end. That framing tells you there is still genuine uncertainty about when exactly this deal gets done, what form the compensation takes, and whether the price gap between the two sides gets bridged quickly after June 1 or whether this thing drags out longer than anyone expected. And that uncertainty coming from Rapoport specifically is the most significant piece of news to come out of this entire offseason drama. Because if anyone knows where the actual negotiations stand between these two franchises, it is Ian Rapoport. His sources inside both buildings are among the best in the business, and when he says the sides are not particularly close, you have to take that seriously. But here is where today's story takes a genuinely fascinating turn, because the Patriots are not sitting around waiting for the A.J. Brown situation to resolve itself. New England is actively eyeing another blockbuster trade target that has quietly been building momentum in league circles for weeks, and the name attached to it is one that should make every fan of this franchise extremely excited. Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns has re-emerged as a serious Patriots trade target heading into the summer, and the latest reporting suggests that New England's interest in the two-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year is not casual window shopping. It is genuine, serious, and backed by the kind of financial and draft capital firepower that would make a deal actually possible. Garrett is 30 years old, has recorded double-digit sacks in 6 consecutive seasons, and posted a 92.3 overall PFF grade last season that was nearly perfect as both a pass rusher and a run defender. He is not just one of the best edge rushers alive right now, he is arguably the most dominant defensive player in the entire sport, and pairing him with Gabe Jacobs, the second-round edge rusher the Patriots just drafted out of Illinois, would give New England a pass-rush combination that strikes genuine fear into opposing offensive coordinators across the AFC. The Cleveland Browns, who are deep into a roster transition and have a quarterback situation that remains unresolved heading into training camp, are in exactly the position a team needs to be in for a blockbuster trade. To make sense, they have a generational talent who is worth more than anything they can build around him right now, and a front office that has a real incentive to collect premium draft capital to accelerate their rebuild. The Patriots, sitting on cap space and armed with future picks after their 2026 draft haul, are one of the very few teams in the league that can actually afford to make this deal work without gutting the rest of their roster. Bleacher Report's Alex Kay specifically named New England as one of the frontrunners to pursue Garrett in 2026, noting their league-high cap space and extensive draft capital as the primary reasons the Patriots have the tools to get this trade done where other teams simply cannot. Now let us take a step back and look at the full picture here, because the combination of the A.J. Brown price gap drama and the Myles Garrett conversation emerging at the same time tells you something very important about how Mike Vrabel and Elliott Wolf operate this front office. They are not a one-option organization. They are not sitting in a room somewhere desperately hoping Philadelphia agrees to their terms while the clock ticks. They have contingency plans. They have alternative targets. The 2027 first-round pick that the Eagles are demanding is genuinely valuable. It is expected to come in a quarterback-rich draft class that multiple teams around the league are already positioning themselves for, and if Howie Roseman will not come off that price point after June 1, New England is absolutely capable of redirecting that same first-round pick toward a trade for Myles Garrett and completely transforming the defensive side of their roster instead. And there is another name that deserves serious attention in this conversation, Brian Thomas Jr. of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thomas is just 23 years old, carries a cap number under $2 million if acquired via trade, and represents the kind of young, controllable receiver investment that gives the Patriots long-term value rather than a 2-year rental window. What today's Rapoport report makes clear more than anything else is that June 1 is not the magic finish line that most people assumed it was. It is the starting gun. It is the moment both front offices can finally sit down and negotiate with the real financial numbers on the table. And what happens in those conversations over the first week of June is going to determine whether the Patriots end this offseason with a J. Brown, Myles Garrett, Brian Thomas Jr. Or some combination of moves that nobody has fully predicted yet. Elliott Wolf has built this roster with extraordinary patience and precision all offseason long, and the endgame of that strategy is now arriving in real time over the next 7 days. The bottom line today is that this Patriots offseason just got dramatically more complicated and dramatically more interesting all at the exact same moment. The A.J. Brown trade has a real price gap that needs to be resolved. Myles Garrett is a genuine alternative blockbuster target with enormous upside. And New England has the cap space, the draft capital, and the front office talent to go in multiple directions before training camp opens. The next 7 days are going to be some of the most consequential days of the entire 2026 NFL offseason, and every single development matters. Do not miss a single update. Subscribe to this channel right now and hit that notification bell so you are the first to know the moment anything official drops out of Foxborough or Philadelphia. Drop a comment below and tell me after today's Rapoport report, are you still confident a J. Brown ends up a Patriot, or has the price gap made you nervous enough to prefer pivoting to Myles Garrett instead? I genuinely want to know what you think. Like this video, share it with every Patriots fan in your life, and I will see you in the very next one. Let us go New England!